Hello there. This is a story today for you about Walter the duck. You've met him before, I'm sure, who knows lots and lots of stories, especially Bible stories, but today's is not a Bible story, but it's about Walter when he was very near to his home. You can see the kind of place that Walter lives behind me now, this lovely peaceful lake on this gorgeous morning. And it was a morning a bit like this that Walter was, well, he was just kind of lazily wandering around by his home, the nest at the side of the lake, when all of a sudden there was a whoo plop right beside him. There fell down out of the sky, as it were, a tiny bird. And Walter jumped. He was startled. Whoa, what's that? And a little chirpy voice said, "Hello, I'm a baby swallow." A baby swallow. And he'd fallen out of the nest and landed right beside Walter. Well, Walter decided he'd try and look after the little swallow, but after a few seconds, Mummy Swallow flew down and brought some food for the baby. So she began to look after him the way that mummy swallows do. Well, Walter, for a long time afterwards, kept meeting up with the baby swallow. And of course, as baby swallows do, it began to grow. And it grew bigger and stronger, and its little fluffy feathers turned to proper swallow feathers, and it was beginning to learn to fly. And all the time Walter would meet with him along by the water's edge and chat about how the flying lessons were really going. Well, this went on for some months. Then one day Walter wandered out along by the lake and he saw something he hadn't seen before. And there, up in the air, on those cables, those electrical wires that string across from pole to pole, he saw lots and lots of swallows all lined up along that wire. And he wondered, what's going on? What's happening? What are they doing? Well, after a few moments, as he was wondering and watching, one of the swallows flew right down beside where Walter was. And you know what? It was that little baby swallow, now fully grown. "What's going on?" said Walter. "What are you doing?" And the baby swallow, no longer a baby, said to Walter, We're getting ready to all fly south to Africa for the winter. The temperature's dropping, it's getting colder, and we're all going to fly away down to Africa." "Oh," said Walter, "does that mean I won't be seeing you?" "Well, not for a while," said the swallow, "but I must go and join all the rest, and then we'll fly away." So Walter watched as he joined the rest, and then away they flew off to Africa. Well, thought Walter, what about that? He felt really sad. His friend had flown away, and he wasn't sure when or whether he'd see him again. So he waddled back towards his nest, along by the lake. The little bird, just before it flew away, said to Walter, "Don't be sad. Remember that for every goodbye, there's a hello." And Walter was thinking about that as he walked back to his nest. And as he walked, all of a sudden, Dobbin The big old shire horse who lived in the field next to the lake poked his head over the hedge and said, "Oh, hello, Walter." And Walter looked up and said, "Oh, hello." Hello. And you know what? That little bird's words had come true. There had been a goodbye, and now there was a hello. And you know, it's just the same for all of us. When we get to that time in our lives, we have to say goodbye to some people, some places, some things. There'll always be a hello somewhere else. And that's true for the year sixes, who very soon will be moving on to another school, to new teachers, new friends. It's sad to say goodbye, but remember Walter's story. For every goodbye, there's a hello.